I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you're here this morning with me, I know this is a little bit later than I did last week, and I'm going to play around with the times a little bit, maybe do evening times sometimes as well. So if you guys are watching this on the replay and you're like, hey, evenings are better for me, just let me know in the comment section. That would be really helpful. If you're here with me right now, though, I'd love for you to let me know. I see some people are watching, but I don't know who you are. So let me know who you are. Really, I'm sharing this with all of you ladies. I have really been in prayer for you this week, and just thinking about, some things that, have just been on my heart for myself. And I know that if I'm struggling in an area, chances are someone else's as well. So that's why I always want to share out of my own struggle. And I never want to share from a place if I have arrived and I have it all figured out, because heck to the no, I do not. Okay. So here's what happened to me. Something happened to me this week, actually last Sunday. And we've been talking about loving ourselves, and not in a narcissistic way, not in a self-absorbed way, but in a healthy way. There is a real reason we need to love ourselves so that we can love others. The word says, love your neighbor as yourself. If you cannot love yourself, you cannot love your neighbor. So the word said it. I didn't say it. God said it. So this is not a unhealthy, I'm so great, everything's about me. Like if you have little kids and they watch Paw Patrol, I said to my daughter the other day, like, wow, that Mayor Humdinger is like a serious narcissist. And that kind of self-love is not what I'm talking about, where he's always like, it's all about me. Everything's about me. And it's so annoying. I can't even listen to it. I have to turn it off. I'm like, we're gonna watch something else. This is driving me crazy. So I'm not talking about that. So I'm talking about loving ourselves in a healthy way so that we can be comfortable in our own skin, be comfortable in our own minds, be comfortable in our own lives. And so the topic for today is, what are you focused on? And something happened to me on Sunday. My daughter and I at church, we were just sitting next to each other, and my daughter's real fidgety. She likes to play with fidget toys, and she brought this fidget toy with her in my purse, which I thought was funny because I opened my purse and I was like, why is this in my purse? It wasn't in there before. She stuck it in there and didn't tell me. And this is a squishy ball that you just squeeze, and it has this little stuff that comes out of it. And she just sits and she squeezes it because she can focus on the sermon better when she's doing something with her hands. So that's what I let her do. And anyway, so during worship, she did not have it out. She put it in my purse, and it's dark in our sanctuary. And some people were trying to walk by and get in the seats next to us. So she had pulled my purse out to the side for some reason. I usually stick it back up underneath the chair, but she had pulled it out and it was right in the middle of the aisle sideways. So this poor man gets in the aisle and he trips over my purse. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh. And my purse dumps over and things fall out. Well, my daughter's scrambling, trying to pick it back up and and I said, like, push it up underneath the chair there. So worship continues. After worship, she goes instantly to grab my purse. She looks inside. There's no squishy ball. And she's like, my ball, that guy kicked the purse and it's gone and it rolled away. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. That stinks. So I'm like helping her look around on the floor for the squishy ball. And as we're looking, I'm like looking up underneath the chairs behind me. I'm not trying to make a scene out of it, because this is church and I'm not really worried. If she lost her ball, that's her problem. She's going to have to find it after service. And I'm looking in the seats kind of around, right beyond where we were sitting on the floor. Cause I'm thinking if he kicked the purse, it probably went that direction. So I'm kind of looking way past there. I said, babe, I'm sorry. I don't see it. She says, oh, well, I don't see it either. Okay. Well, we'll just have to look for it after church. Right. So I'm sitting just in the seat, praying to God during the announcements. Lord, please let her find that ball. I know she loves this stupid ball. And the reason she loves this ball is because her brother gave her this ball. And Lord, please, it means something to her. As simple and silly as this squishy little ball is that you can get on Amazon for a couple dollars, right? It meant something to her, and she brought it in and she lost it because of a decision that she made and didn't think about. Okay. So I know it's kind of her. She had some consequences there too. And she's worried. I could tell she was upset. And so I just was praying, and all of a sudden I heard him just tell me, look down. So I just looked down, and right there in front of her seat, which was directly next to mine, but in front of her on the floor next to my purse, was the squishy ball. It was right there the whole time. Okay, so this is the point I'm making. I heard him say, well, you don't always see what's right in front of you, Catherine, do you? And I'm like, whoa. Nope, I don't. I don't. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. We don't always see what's right in front of us, just like this squishy ball was right in front of us the entire time. I know we're fretting over it. We're kind of trying to look past it to see it must be down there. It has to be over there. But the whole time it was right in front of us. So I thought that was really funny, not ha, funny, like, interesting. And I started thinking about that a lot this week. I thought, when we try to live our lives, always looking to the next, or always looking to what we think we need, or focusing on, like, looking past what we have is the best way to say this, and looking at what other people have, looking at their lives, looking at their jobs, their husbands, their houses, their kids, their whatever it is. And a lot of times we've heard this over and over again. So I know that you may be like, oh my gosh, okay, I know this but it's the problem. That's why it keeps being brought up, is social media. Okay. Social media, breeds this issue of comparison. So comparison is the basis of what I want to talk about. So when we compare ourselves to other people and other people's lives, we stop focusing on our gifts. We stop focusing on our blessings. We start looking past those things to what we think should be. And sometimes our comparison can be with not just other people, but within ourselves, like our former self. And I'm really guilty of this, like comparing myself to my former self, sometimes in a good way where I'm like, wow, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. And sometimes in a bad way where I'm like, I have gained some weight, since 2011 or whatever, when I was the thinnest I've ever been. I was 128 pounds, and I've not been able to get back there again, like, at all. I moved to the South, and I'm pretty sure there's like fat particles in the air, and I just breathe them in and I just gain weight. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, no, that's probably not true. But there's like this thing that happened when I moved from Colorado to the South. I just like blew up, and I have not been able to get all of that weight back off. I've got a lot of it off, but I haven't got all of it off. So sometimes I compare my now self to my past self in that respect. And a lot of times I compare my now self to this made up idea self of who I feel I should be, and I'm not. So I'm always beating myself up. Is anybody else like in the same boat with me? Please let me know in the comment section below that I am not alone. Let me know, like, hey, you're not alone in all of this. So so as I was thinking about that, I got a few revelations from the Lord, and I want to share them with you. The truth is, okay, that you're never going to win in life by trying to be someone that you're not. And I thought that was really good. I'm not going to win in life trying to be someone that I'm not. And you're not going to win in life trying to be someone that you're not either. So trying to attain some made up self, or some, image that you have in your mind, or like, I'm going to be them. And so then you try to do everything you can to be them in one way or another. And it ends up not being your true self. Like, that's not really who you are. You can never live the life of your dreams by settling for doing what someone else thinks that you should do with your life. And I'm super guilty of this too. Over the past couple of years, I have stepped out in more ways than one, and it's very uncomfortable. Getting on camera is uncomfortable. Talking to no one in this room right now is uncomfortable. Like, these are things that I do, but I don't feel as though the people that are closest to me get it. They're like, why do you do that? What are you doing? What's the point? Like, why can't you just be like everybody else? Why do you have to share your story? Why do you have to talk about God all the time? Why do you have to, try to encourage women to be the healthiest version of themselves from the inside out? Why do you do that? And that can sometimes lead me to go like, well, yeah, why do I do that? I don't know. What's wrong with me? Should I be doing this? Whatever. Should I be barefoot and pregnant? Should I be, because I have someone in my life who I feel looks at me like I'm a lunatic because I just can't sit in the house with the kids and do nothing. I feel this drive behind me, like something pushing me forward, like I have to do more. And it's not about money. It's not. I could go out and get a job at McDonald's if it was about money. This is not about money. I don't even make money doing what I'm doing outside of coaching clients. And that is a great blessing. And I'm thankful for that. But I don't make money making YouTube videos, but a little bit of AdSense. That's nothing. Like, for an entire month, it's nothing. I could make more doing DoorDash in 2 days. Okay. So I'm just saying, trying to live the life that someone else thinks I should live makes me take my focus off of what I should be doing, the call that God has for me and for you. This is for you too. And looking at what maybe I could do over here, or, well, what they're doing. And maybe I should, be more normal. I have been told I am an out of the box person for a long time in my life. Like, you're weird. I know. And that's okay. You know what? Being different is good, because if I look like everybody else, I'd be like everybody else. And I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I'm trying to be like me. So be you and be different and be happy with where you're at. So you'll never be truly happy if you change who you are to fit in with others. And that is the truth, because I was the most unhappy when I was constantly trying to fit in to a box that I didn't fit into. Like, the square mold was not my shape. I was like this crazy, shape that I couldn't figure out in geometry in high school. I didn't make sense. So I can't fit into that box, and I never will. And I am not happy trying. It's miserable and uncomfortable. So I am okay with who I am. Even if I were to go out and buy a pair of size 6 pants right now and try to fit in those size 6 pants and sit down, my face would turn blue. Turn purple. I wouldn't be able to breathe. Somebody would have to cut them off me. It would be a miracle if I even could button them. I can't fit into something I don't fit into, right? Like, this, ladies, if you're like, man, I wish I could fit into those, whatever, or that swimsuit, you shouldn't be wearing, like, don't be doing it. Like, don't try to fit into it just because Susie so-and-so can, or just because you think they look good and you should look good too. And that same, all of our bodies are different. We have to dress them differently. Like, what flatters you doesn't flatter me. I have a long torso. I can wear, certain types of things, but I can't wear real short shirts. I have to wear longer shirts because I have a longer torso if I want to cover up the stuff I don't want anybody to see. Okay. So anyways, it's just important to remember that you can't fit into what you're not made to fit into. So if you're not made to fit into this life that you're looking past what you have, you're looking past where you're at, and you're saying, I should be there, or I can be over there. And I'm not saying not to strive to do better in your life, to want to change behaviors that are negative and do positive things and think differently, for the positive for yourself. Just make sure that they're for you, is what I'm trying to say. Make sure they're yours, not someone else's idea. Okay. So, what else did I write here? I wrote a few notes in here. Okay. So it's just simply impossible to be genuinely happy when you're not genuinely you. And I want to stop really quick and talk about this. And I'm going to actually bring up something really quick while I'm doing this, and I'm almost done. You can't be genuinely happy unless you're being genuinely you. And somebody posted something on a group that I'm in on my Facebook, YouTube Mamas group, because, girls, you need some support everywhere you're at. We need support. And if we don't have that support and we're trying to do all this all by ourselves, we're probably going to find ourselves off track at some point. I can't find it, but I'll sort of like remember what it was. Anyways, so there was a comment that a woman posted in this YouTube mom support group. And it's basically a group for women who have YouTube channels and who are moms. So like-minded people, right? We don't have the same type of channels. Everybody's channel is different. Most of those women have vlog type channels where they're like following their kids around and being cute, right? That's not my thing. That's okay if it's theirs, but we get on there and we support each other. We like encourage each other, and we say like, yay to the things that you've done really well. And hey, you can do this, keep going, type of thing. So anyways, this mom gets on this morning, and one of the very first things I seen when I opened up my Facebook to check my notifications, was this comment that I can't find right now. So maybe I'm not meant to find it, but she had just went on a little rant and said, I have been doing YouTube for a certain amount of time. I'm really discouraged. I had 100 subscribers. Something happened to my subscriber count. I posted videos that were doing really well. And then I started posting videos that I really like doing, and my subscriber count went down and nobody's watching my videos. I feel super discouraged. And she started saying like, I didn't start YouTube to gain a following and be famous, but I really just want to quit because this is hard and I don't like it. So some of the things she said it a lot different. I remember feeling a lot of these things myself, because as a YouTuber, I wanted to start a YouTube channel that was going to be doing things like this, talking about things that I care about, talking about, self-development and bettering ourselves and like getting healthy inside so that we can be healthy on the outside and heal other people around us when we have been healed, when we've walked through our own junk. We can comfort others with the same comfort we've been comforted with. But the problem is YouTube is a search engine. And I had to learn that the hard way. YouTube is not a place where people are just like, hey, I'm going to go see what Catherine May is doing in her life. They could care less. Like, it's YouTube. They don't care. And so I started posting videos about like my vlogging, my weight loss journey, because I honestly, genuinely wanted that to help somebody else, because I couldn't find info out there on the specific diet plan I was doing at the time for myself to help me. So I thought, well, if it's not out there, I'll create it. Right. So I did that. And when I was doing that, the video started like exploding with views, like 32,000 views and 50,000 views. I'm like, whoa, okay, people really want to hear this. So I kind of just went down that vein. And I've always been passionate and loved sharing about health on the outside too. Like, even if I don't make the right decisions all the time, I know what they are. I know the right answer. It doesn't mean I always do the right answer. So I've always loved and been very interested in, like our physical body and our brain, both at the same time. So our emotional health and our physical health. So I thought it kind of would fit. And after a little while of doing those videos, I thought I'm not doing Nutrisystem anymore, you guys. So I'm going to be doing something else. I'm going to be talking about things that matter to me emotionally, like how to deal with your anger and unforgiveness and things that matter and will help you in the long term if you're struggling with weight loss. Dealing with the internal will help you be able to be healthier on the outside, make healthy decisions for yourself. So as I started doing those videos, I realized the video count was like in the toilet, and I got discouraged. And I heard this woman's heart, and I seen what she was saying, and what she was saying was contradicting herself. She was saying, I want to do YouTube, but I'm doing it for fun. I'm bored. I'm a mom that stays home and I have no friends. So that's why I'm doing it. She stated her why in the middle of this section of grief she had. And at the bottom of it, she says, but nobody's watching it and nobody cares. So I want to quit, but I'm not in this for the fame. And I'm like, either you're doing it because it's good and that's what you want to do, and you really genuinely don't care about what other people think or say, or you're doing it for the likes, you're doing it for the views, you're doing it for the money, whatever it is. Okay. You like, for me, I'm talking to me because I know a lot of you ladies don't have a YouTube channel. I'm not trying to encourage you in your YouTube channel here. I'm just saying that the same is true in every area. She was trying to do just like what I was trying to do, make a difference and do the things that she wants to do, but nobody seemed to care. So she just had to go back and find her why. And she got distracted and off focus and focusing on, maybe I'm not good enough because my view count isn't good enough. So that's not accurate. She's good enough. Doesn't mean that just because a certain amount of people found her and a lot more didn't, doesn't make her less than. So something I definitely resonated with and I understood. So what you think about is going to determine what you care about, and what you care about is what you're going to chase. So if you're always thinking about, trying to be this picture perfect person or have this other type of life, you're going to be chasing that. But if you're thinking about the life that God has for you, what is it that he has for you to do? If you're thinking about the people you're meant to influence and the places you're meant to go and the jobs you're meant to have, then you're going to be chasing God dreams for your life, not like the world's dreams for your life. So I thought that was really good for my own self. And because thoughts, and this is true, thoughts are the fuel for the affections of the heart. And our affections drive our actions. So what you care about, you're going to do. Okay. So that's why I keep doing YouTube, because I care about I care about that one woman who's sitting on the other side of the screen, looking at my face, listening to me ramble and saying, I needed to hear that today. And she'll never tell me. I'll never know that that's what she said to herself. And that's okay, because it doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm being obedient to do the things that God has called me to do, as outside of the box as they may seem. Okay. So that's why the Bible is so clear to set your mind on the things above. And that's why it's important for me to always renew my mind and set my mind on the things that are above, like what's pure, what's holy, what's good, what's of good report, what's kind, what's, just setting my mind on the things above. And it's really hard to do in today's world. It's really hard to do in right now today, with all that's going on in the world, with the, things going on in the other parts of the globe that are just heartbreaking. It's hard, but I'm challenging you to do that. I'm challenging you to be a student of what thoughts you allow to linger in your mind, kind of like what we talked about last week about self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? What are you allowing? What's the tape recorder in your mind that you're allowing to push play on, rewind, play on, rewind, play on, rewind? What's that tape? What are you thinking about? So here's the big challenge. Focus on what's in front of you, and then think about what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about? Because if you can focus on what's in front of you just right now, focus on the fact that you maybe, if you have good health, you can focus on that. If your family's all healthy and happy and, living, in a good godly way or whatever, like focus on what's in front of you. Focus on the husband that you have, not on the husband you wish you had. Focus on that. Focus on the blessing that, he is, that he's faithful and he stays there and he takes care of you and whatever, focus on those type of things. And then just to think about what you're thinking about, because, so often we just let our thoughts run run the show. Okay. Our thoughts end up dictating our actions. So if that's true, then we really need to be thinking about what we're thinking about. So if I am thinking about things, I'm a lot more likely to do what I actually intended to do versus just on a whim or whatever, like mindless. Have you ever mindlessly ate? I have many times. I'm not thinking about how many times my hand has went back and forth to the cookies or the chips or whatever. Like I'm just eating like mindlessly, not even considering why am I eating this? Are you even hungry? Does this even taste good? No and no. That's the answer, like the majority of the time. I'm full. Why am I eating this? I don't know. Because I'm trying to fill some void in me that I can't seem to fill any other way. It's usually the answer, right? So I just challenge you to think about what you're thinking about and start writing those things down. Start keeping a little journal, like of your thoughts, just a thought journal. It could be scribbly mess, and maybe take a little time once a week and go back and just kind of look through those, and then see what thoughts are serving you well, what thoughts are not, and start to challenge the thoughts that are not serving you well with thoughts that will serve you well, which is take the lies and replace them with the truth. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope that you guys are encouraged. I hope that you're going to have a really great, incredible weekend. And I want to ask a huge favor of you who are watching this now and who are watching this later. I want you to please let me know if there's any specific topics that you're struggling with that you would love for me to just share my thoughts on. If it's something that has to do with mental health or physical health or even relationships, with your kids, with husbands, anything like that. If you guys are struggling in any area and you would love to see that topic touched on here in this private group, let me know. I would so be honored to take that to the Lord and consider sharing my thoughts on it here for you guys. So let me know what you guys thought of today also. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.